Now I love long exposure photography. I do it with my main camera, but more recently I've been doing it more and more with my iPhone. But despite being totally different technology, there's one thing in common. We need to use a tripod to keep the camera or the phone still. But there's a new app on the scene that means we don't need one. This is a game changer. Okay, so this new app I'm talking about is called ReeHeld, and this is made by the same folks who make the RAW long exposure app that I use called ReeXpose. ReeXpose is an incredible app that I've mentioned in a previous video. It shoots RAW and can be used to create long exposures from 1 second up to bulb mode, and it works great. Now I use ReeXpose when I'm out with the intention of taking photographs, so I have other kit with me. Not a lot because this is mobile photography, and 99% of what I have in my bag is for recording content. My drone, 360 camera, GoPro and so on. But I also have with me my tripod. ReeHeld though is for those times when I don't have other kit with me. Times when I'm just out, which is ideal because you can guarantee when you don't have your kit with you, you'll see something that you want to photograph. Of course, you can create long exposure photographs using the iPhone camera app when using the live option, but this is a one-click fix. There's no other controls. It just smooths out anything that was moving and is hit and miss if it actually blurs stuff it shouldn't. With ReeHeld though, you have complete control over how long you want the long exposure to be depending on the look that you want to create. And you do this by simply scrolling the wheel from 1 second up to a maximum of 30 seconds. You then simply press to take the long exposure and stand as still as you can. Now I have no idea how this wizardry works, but somehow ReeHeld is able to align all the photographs it takes in real time and blend them all together to create the long exposure. And I've been testing this for a few weeks now and it works incredibly well. As for settings, you can press to change the lens from wide, ultra wide and telephoto. There's a 3-second timer you can turn on to give you time to settle in and get ready to hold still. And there's the shutter button. When you press the shutter button, you see a green line moving around the outside so you can see how much longer you have to go. The long exposure photographs that ReeHeld creates are JPEGs and are stored in the iPhone camera roll, which you can access by tapping in the bottom left. And if you tap on the gear icon, there's information about the other apps, lenses they make, how to get in contact and so on. But that's it. Incredibly easy to use and gives fantastic results. I just don't know how. Now I can't mention handheld long exposure without mentioning another app that's been around for quite a long time, Spectre Camera. In fact, it was first released 4 years ago, but hasn't received one single update in over 10 months, and that was only to make it compatible with the iPhone 13 Pro. The update before that was 2 years ago to make it compatible with the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and there's been new models released since then. Unlike ReeHeld, where you can choose to create a long exposure anytime from 1 to 30 seconds handheld, Spectre Camera is limited to 3 long exposure times: 3, 5 or 9 seconds. So it can't be used to create pictures like this where the exposure needs to be a lot longer. It does have this stability indicator though, which is really useful. On launch, ReeHeld doesn't have this, but the folks at Reflex tell me that it's already been added into version 1.1, which also has a few more bells and whistles added and will be released imminently. Now the price. You can download ReeHeld from the App Store for free, and that will give you the ability to test it and take 10 long exposure photographs. After that, you can either opt for a yearly subscription of £2.99 or buy it outright for £7.99, giving lifetime access. Now the day this video goes out is the day that the ReeHeld app is actually released and available in the App Store, and the makers are running a contest. running from the day this video goes out and the app is released, which is the 6th of April 2023, up until the 9th of April. If you take photographs with ReeHeld and share them on Instagram or Facebook and use the hashtag ReeHeld Contest, the top 10 photographs picked by the makers will be featured on their social media channels and blog, and can be selected to be featured in ReeHeld's store listing in the Apple App Store. Winners are announced on the 10th of April. Now, I've added all the links that you could need for ReeHeld into the description part of this video, but before I go, a reminder that in a few days there is a completely free and new online event coming up, running from April 17th through April 20th. The Photoshop Creativity Virtual Summit. 19 world-class instructors teaching 36 Photoshop classes over 4 days, covering such things as special effects, textures, blending, lighting, drawing, painting, compositing, and much more. I've added a link in the description where you can register for a free pass to all of the content. Right, that's all I've got for you. I'll catch you in the next video.